Hello and welcome. My name is Gladys and I'll be your teacher today as I guide you through a sequence of poses called vinyasa or Surya Namaskar A. These are a sequence of poses that we often come back to in our yoga classes, and it can leave students feeling a little confused as to whether they're doing it correctly. So I'm here to break down the poses piece by piece in hopes that you'll step into your next yoga class feeling a little bit more confident and a little bit more aware and conscious of the inner workings of each of these poses. So let's get on our mat and let's get started. So come to the top of your mat and we're going to start in mountain pose or Tadasana. Bring your big toes to touch and your heels slightly apart, forming a little triangle just like this. Now lift your toes, spread your toes, and place your big toes down first, your pinky toes down second, and then relax your foot down. So we've built the foundation. So we're going to reach up tall through the crown of our head, bring your shoulders up to your ears, draw them back, and relax your arms down. Now from here, you'll feel a shift in the midsection of your body. We're going to tilt our pelvis slightly forward. I'm just going to turn around to the side so you can see me. We don't want to have our pelvis sticking out this way. We want to tilt it slightly forward. Pull your belly in. We're going to pull our belly in towards our spine and up towards our heart. Feel your legs strong down towards the earth. Now reach up tall through the crown of your head. Reaching up tall doesn't mean lifting your chin, just lifting up tall through the crown of your head. Keep your chin parallel to the ground. Now from here, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, and just be in the pose. This is mountain pose or Tadasana. We come back to this pose like this very often. When you step back forward, we're stepping back into Tadasana or mountain pose. So always come back and check your feet when you step back to the front of the mat. Now, from here, we have built our foundation. We are standing in Tadasana. The teacher will often say, inhale, reach your arms up. Now, here, when you reach your arms up, ideally, we want to press our palms together. We want to feel the lengthening of our body, reaching tall from our arms and rooting down through our feet. Feel the stretch up. Every part of this movement is intentional. Press your palms together. Relax your shoulder blades down your back and slightly look up at your thumbs here. Keep pressing your feet into the ground. Pull your belly in, reach up tall, and then from here we're going to exhale and fold forward. When we're folding forward, I'll come back to the center. So when we're folding forward, we want to think about the folding forward like a hinging at the hips. Imagine this is a hinge, and this is the door, and this is the wall, and you're hinging forward. So when we hinge forward, we want to hinge down with a straight spine. So we want to be here. We want the spine long. So we don't compromise the spine for the legs. So we're here, reaching up tall through your hands, pressing down through your feet. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, keep your spine long, pull your belly in, and then reach forward. Bring your belly to your thighs with a straight spine here. Bring your fingertips to the ground, to your shins, wherever your body will allow it. And then slightly shift your weight forward. So we're keeping a nice, straight, long spine here. Now, another thing I want to add here, a lot of people will crank their neck up. But in order to have length in the spine, you want to draw your chin towards your chest. Do not touch your chest with your chin, but draw your chin towards your chest and feel the back of your neck lengthening. And then exhale, bend your knees, pull your belly in, relax your head down. Now from here, bend your knees a lot if you need to. Press your hands into the mat. Then you're going to step one foot back. When we're stepping back, we're drawing the belly in and pressing the foot back. Notice how my belly is staying engaged. And then bring your other leg back into a plank. Now, the plank is a very important and foundational pose. in the plank, we want a nice straight line from the crown of our head all the way to our heels. So we want to engage our belly. Pull your belly in. There's a slight tilt down of the pelvic floor. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your thighs, press your hands into the ground as if you're pressing yourself away. Again, the neck here stays nice and long. Now, there's a few ways to get into the next pose, which is chaturanga, and I will show you a few different variations. And also there's an option to come straight to your belly and skipping chaturanga altogether. So we'll go into the easier version, which is 8 limbs pose. We're going to drop our knees, drop your chest. Now, as you drop your chest, keep your elbows tight next to you, drop your chin, and look forward. Now, notice the belly does not collapse here. The belly stays nice and strong. Now, from here, we're going to slide our hips down and inhale to a cobra or upward dog. Now, if you are doing the variation of chaturanga, chaturanga is basically like a tricep push-up. For chaturanga, we want to make sure to keep our elbows tight by our sides. Our arms are shoulder width apart. Okay, so to set up the chaturanga, we want to press our hands just like we were in the plank. We're going to shift our weight forward. Bend your elbows. Keep your body long and tall and strong. Coming down, and then curl over your toes and inhale, upward dog here. There's 2 variations. If you are doing cobra, we will go through cobra, and then we will go through upward dog. So we'll start with cobra. We've already slid our hips down. Our hands are just below our shoulders. Fingers spread. Your arms aren't wide. They're as wide as your shoulders. Press the tops of your feet into the mat and engage your quads. Pull your belly in. Notice my belly is engaged here. Now from here, squeeze your elbows in. Keep your neck nice and long, just like we did earlier. Parallel your chin to the floor, and then we're just going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and press ourselves up. You can stay here or peel your body off the ground. Now, a lot of people think that we press the floor this way when we're doing cobra, but instead, we want to imagine pressing the floor, pushing the hands back, and threading the chest through. Keep bringing your elbows towards each other. Engage your legs. Engage your glutes. And then exhale, pressing back into a downward dog. Okay? Now, if you're doing the chaturanga version, I will also teach you that now. So we are in chaturanga. We're coming all the way down. Hold. Curl your toes under. So in order to do that, watch my toes. From here, you can just lift like so. Okay, so let me show you both variations. Coming down, upward dog, or sliding. Now, for upward dog, we want to really feel the strength of our body here. It requires you to use a lot of strength in order to hold the pose. That is why we often start with cobra as a pre-pose to upward dog. Now, so we were down. Now for upward dog, press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your thighs, pull your belly in, press your hands into the ground, and reach up tall through the crown of your head. You can keep your head facing forward, or you can lift your chin back, whichever you prefer. Now, shoulders are not collapsing forward. Shoulders are squeezing back behind you. You're threading your heart through. Imagine there's a string that's pulling from the center of your heart, going all the way up, press your hands into the ground a little more firmly. And then exhale, rolling over your toes, coming into downward dog, the final posture of our vinyasa. Now, from here, spread your fingers wide. Now, I'm just going to turn this way to show you. So when we're doing downward dog, nothing has shifted in our arms. We keep our arms shoulder width apart and we press our hands into the ground. So if you'd like to try with me, it's the same action as lifting your arms up over your head and pressing the ceiling away from you. So that's what we're doing in downward dog. So spread your fingers wide. Your peace fingers are facing the front of the mat. So if you draw a line from the front of your mat and then you drag your hand down, your fingers are facing that way. Now, some people might have to have like a wider, so you take your hands a little wider. Some people might need to bring them slightly more in. I like to keep mine the traditional way of bringing the peace fingers directly parallel to the top of my mat. Now, spread your fingers wide. We're going to spread our toes wide as well. So just like we did in mountain pose or in Tadasana, you want to spread your toes from your big toe and your pinky toe and just feel your limbs, your hands and your feet firmly into the ground. Now, a lot of people, when they're starting out, their heels might be off the ground. So honor where you are. If your heels are off the ground, that's okay. What I always tell my students is you want to bring your belly to your thighs so we have a nice long spine. Now press into the ground. Don't cave into your shoulders like so. You want to relax your shoulders down, micro bend your elbows. Some people who have hyperextension, like I do in the elbows, we have this tendency to really press out and we lock the elbow out. And it's not necessarily good for your limbs. So we want to micro bend slightly and press in through our hand and feel the whole muscles in the arms engaged. Now, for the shoulders, a lot of people, they get their shoulders bunched up like this when they're doing downward dog. We want to relax the shoulders down. So imagine the shoulder blades. From here, you want to roll the shoulder blades down your back. So imagine just peeling them back gently. And oftentimes the teacher will come and actually give you an adjustment in this pose, and it's always very helpful. So we're in downward dog. A lot of flexible people like myself or hypermobile people like myself, we have this tendency to splay our ribs out. So from here, we want to imagine pulling the ribs in so it feels almost like the spine is rounding, but the idea is to get the ribs and the hip points almost like they're meeting towards each other. Now from here, you press your hip bones away from you, press them up towards the ceiling, and imagine your hip points kind of spreading apart. Press into your feet, pull your belly in, relax your neck, and your gaze can be between your feet. If you're a more advanced student, we look at the navel. From here, 5 breaths here. A lot of people have questions as to how to keep your hands from sliding. And there are a few different factors to that. 1, it could be the yoga mat. 2, it could be the kind of soap you're using. And 3, it could also be that you're pressing so hard into your hands that they're kind of sliding forward and you're not gripping the mat. So we want to think about gripping the mat. So we grip the mat with our index, our thumb, and our knuckles. And we want to create this sort of like squeezing sensation. It's almost like we're squeezing the mat down. So squeeze your knuckles down. Now from here, to get to the front of our mat, we're going to pull our belly in. I mean, it should already be pulled, but it's a nice little reminder. You're going to bend your knees if they're not already bent. Look at the front of the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale, Pull your leg forward. So notice how my belly's pulled in and I'm reaching my leg forward and then reach the other back. Now, like I said before, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, flat back, wherever you are, here or somewhere in between. And then exhale, fold forward here. Now, the folding forward is also an important posture because we come back to it later on in other series, other postures. Paschimottanasana, for example. So we want to shift the weight forward. Don't straighten your legs more than you need to, okay? Bend your knees so that your belly is touching your thighs. And then from here, relax your head down. And imagine possibly that your face is touching your thighs or your shins. Now inhale, coming up. Press into your feet. Pull your belly in. You're going to reach your arms up. We're hinging again. Keep the spine long. Reaching up tall through your hands, pressing down into your feet. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your glutes. Maybe you want to bend back just a little bit. And exhale, arms down, Tadasana, mountain pose. And we have completed the whole sequence of Surya Namaskar A or vinyasa. So if you have any questions or if there is any other poses that you'd like me to break down for you, write them down below and I'd be happy to do that. And also don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. So I hope you have a nice day. Namaste.